Hello, welcome to Tunic Counter Gamers, episode 72. I didn't write an intro, so you're not gonna get a fancy intro. Today
Well,
we're gonna learn how to.
I think that's perfect actually because your intro is kind of sneaky, right? Kind of like
Yeah,
a
sure,
dagger
sure.
in the dark, you know?
Yeah. Today we're gonna learn how to block Mario. But first, oh yeah, hold on. I'm Andrew.
I'm Will. I'm
Okay,
surprised, Andrew, that you went that route and not the whole "It's a me, a Mario. We're gonna learn how to block me." Anyways,
yeah,
no, okay.
yeah. What did we learn since last week?
Oh man, I learned that when family comes in, it disrupts everything. I learned that calling Atlanta is a shit show because I had everything in my cart ready to purchase because I'm stacking up tickets, and guess what? Things started selling out from my cart. Right, like I went to go buy, two things sold out, so I didn't get my three Sync Below promos. Right, I did fill in for the other side events like the CC and stuff, but I got two Sync Below promos, which I heard was still pretty good. And Neen got four events with the Sync Below promo, so he's going to give me one of those so I can complete my play
Uh,
set. But dude,
I'm
what
gonna
a
get.
so I thought if a thing was in a cart that it would be fine, right? That it's held for you, but no. So I think a lot of people thought that too because those events sold out fast, man. Right? Again, I mean I get it. I'm glad that Calling Atlanta showed such good reactions. It just sucks that you know these are selling out incredibly fast. So I learned that next time I'm going for something like this, 2 o'clock on the spot, buy the most prime spots first. Don't have it in the cart to hold so you can like shop around. Just buy it, right? And then as far as I missed Tuesday's army, I missed Thursday's army. Family was in town. We had to shuffle a few things around. So, I'm looking forward to coming back out. But you, my friend, had a busy week, I heard. So, what do you tell me about your week and what you learned? And how was
Yeah,
your
no.
calling Atlanta experience?
Oh yeah, bro. So like, I had a friend be like, "Yo, you want to go look at rockets in Huntsville?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome."
Yeah.
And then I realized after the fact that that was the exact same time that registration opened. So I'm
Oh,
like in the parking lot of like the Huntsville Rocket Center. My friend's like, "Hey man, can you give me directions?" And I'm like, "No, okay, you don't understand. This is really important. I need to get a sick below."
did you only get one or two?
I got into 4 events. So I got
Oh,
my
okay.
play set and then I'm
Plus one.
gonna
Dude,
get one to a friend.
on the Purple Discord, people are already trying to buy a playset for $500 plus. It's insane, man.
Yeah. But you can get them signed there too.
Oh, oh shit. I didn't even think
Yeah, the
about that.
artist is going to be in pain that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, do they charge fair prices for signatures? Like 25 bucks, isn't it?
It depends how fancy you want it to be.
I kind of want to. I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's a talking piece. It's a beautiful artwork. I mean, the waifu tax is fucking expensive, though. Hey,
Yeah,
Jesus. Anyways, and it's the most
yeah,
used common that we ever had, and it's cold full art treatment. Jesus.
yeah. It's like literally like the most played card in the game, man.
Yeah, I can see why people wanted it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say to Ning. I don't know what I'm gonna be able to give him to equal the price. Hopefully, he'll give me a friend discount, right? But Ning got a
Yeah,
kid now, so he might have to shell out for a
yeah,
college
yeah.
education.
Yeah.
What else?
Uh-huh.
So you went to three armories?
Yeah, I was actually in free armories this week. But the coolest one among them, we have our brand new one
Yeah,
in Woodstock at Hawk Nest.
yeah. How was that? They got product in just to kind of increase the armory. How'd that even happen? Like, who's the Hawk's Nest guy?
I don't know. I don't know their names. They just say like I walk in and they're like, "Are you here for Flesh and Blood?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Cool. How was the turnout?
Let's see. Like last week, I think it was like 8 or 10,
That's good.
and tonight it was like only 5.
Yeah.
People were too going to the casino to come to the armory tonight.
Where's the casino at? What do you mean?
Yeah, like there's some people that normally come to armories that would be able to go that are that decided that they were going to go to the casino and spend the weekend there. Like
Degenerates.
it's no euphemism. They just literally drove to a casino like about an hour away.
That's funny. All right. So how do you do? Are you ready for next week's calling?
But yeah, I think I'm pretty ready.
Yeah.
I'm especially looking forward to the calling results this weekend to figure out.
I guess last time before we start talking about the sneaky Mario stuff is, how what do you think of the spoilers so far? Spoiler season's out.
Huh?
James White, I understand that you used my body's image in the picture of Olympia and we didn't get the spoiler card, but yeah, what do you think about everyone else's spoiler?
I think spoilers so far have been pretty good. We haven't seen the bad cards yet.
Yeah. How about the Pleiades
Like
one? If you
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Okay, we've seen only one bad one yet.
the draw at the end of the turn thing, if like it's a spend score that stays in play, you keep on moving it. If you have no cards in hand, you can draw a card. It seems pretty good.
It's unplayable.
Wait, when
You
it
know
gets
what's better than drawing a card?
what?
Just playing a good card.
I guess it's okay. Okay.
You can
So,
always play Gorganian Tome if you want to draw a card.
well, I figured like it'll allow you to like swing with hammer and have arsenal bait, you know. So that's why I figured it. Plus, you
Yeah,
kind of want to move spend
Arsenals.
stackers around anyways.
Guardian Arsenals are not good.
I guess that's fair.
You ever
So,
Arsenal Choke Slam blue? It doesn't feel good.
well, yeah, I'm assuming that's arsenaling like what when I used to arsenal blue cards for Reiner, I'm like that'll be fine there. Nope, cost
Yeah,
me the
you're
game.
like, bro, did I really Arsenal Smash Instinct? What the hell's
Yeah.
wrong?
So this is an interesting topic. I realized that. Oh, I've been telling people, what's your like rank? Do you remember? Right,
What
like your
rank?
world rank, your U.S. rank. I can't remember. Like, there's a little
I
class
mean, they
rank
don't
thing.
really have it like get updated anymore because they don't do ELO anymore, and
Okay,
they don't update like the XP like they used to.
gotcha. Well, I was saying like how well you do at these tournaments and how intrinsically you get like what a hero's trying to do. And Mario, as well played as he is, I still have trouble blocking him. So I'm thinking if since it's a learning journey podcast, why not talk to the master? Because I don't block, right? I'm playing Olympia. I realize I have to block more than I did with
I mean,
Olympia than I had to do with Brute, right? And this is a weakness because my most defense is my offense, right? Just take cards out their hands and hopefully they can't rip back with what I'm swinging at them. That strategy is no longer valuable, right? Which is why I don't play a lot of D-Reacts, but now I'm pitting more D-Reacts in, etc., etc. But it goes to this point of how the hell do I block Mario, right? We
I
realize
mean,
this is a weakness. I have Calling Atlanta coming up, although I'm not in the calling itself. I do want to get the tickets so I can get some prize wall stuff. So, Andrew, Mario's going to probably be around in October.
yeah, I don't know how. I think it's physically impossible for Mario to LL by then.
So how the hell do you block him, right? Like I played Assassin for a little bit, then it got popular. I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait till Yuzuri's popular, and then look, Yuzuri's right crazy. Anyways, so how the hell do you block Mario? Like, what's his game plan? Like, what's his what reactions are you looking for? What's his on hits? Yeah, like
Yeah.
walk me through the basic stuff.
All right. So I think before we begin, I'd like to at least say that this is very much from a more aggro player perspective
Okay.
versus like pseudo mid range. If you're like an actual fatigue player, a lot of this information is going to be a little bit different. But for the most part, most people don't play fatigue, and I'm sure that
Is
there
it
will be
possible to
lessons from.
fatigue Mario?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a lot less easy now that Miller's Grindstone and Remembrance are gone, but it is still technically possible.
Okay.
But I think like the best way to start is just talk about the Mario basic game plan in the early game.
Okay.
So let's see if you pull up Jacob Clements's deck list here
Sure. You can do that.
as I pull up the cards. So generally what ends up happening is their first turn, they want to activate Flick Knives and flick a Hunter's Cliff.
To mark your opponent.
No, to get rid of that Hunter's Cliff.
Okay. Is the mark
The
just a
mark is
benefit?
cool. If it happens, their game plan is to get an open weapon slot.
Okay.
Next, they're going to play Orb Weaver Spinneret, or they're going to transform. So if you go all the way to the bottom,
Yeah, this is the one that they restricted to one color, isn't it?
yeah, they got rid of the yellow and blue.
Yeah, so this is a red Orb Weaver Spinneret. There it is.
Yeah, it says equip Graphene Chelicera. It has some
Mm.
other words, but who cares to get Graphene Chelicera?
And that one is your basic,
Yeah, it's a one cost dagger with stealth, and if it attacks a marked hero, it gets go again. Like this card, yeah, this is like their best weapon, and they desperately want this.
okay.
And the way they get it is either Orb Weaver, Spinneret, or they transform into Orb Weaver, the third form.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like this one lets them discard an assassin card to create the Chelicera, and then it also makes the Chelicera swing free.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. So instead of like, I know Black Widow and was the most popular one, but they really want Orb Weaver first.
Yeah, generally it's Orb Weaver that they want to get early, or
Mm,
what they can do pretty often is they'll roll 6, get Trapdoor, grab a trap, and
okay.
then they'll block with Mask of Deceit,
Gotcha.
go all the way to the top.
Yeah, and then Max to see is that if you're marked, they could choose what form to turn into.
Yeah. So generally, what ends up happening is turn 0, they flick the clave, or turn 1,
Mm,
whatever. They will probably mark you because it's very unlikely that you'll draw a damage prevention effect. And then they'll transform at the end of turn, and it's probably not going to be Orb Weaver, and they're probably not going to draw a Spinneret. And so then what happens is they'll block with the mask to turn into Orb Weaver and equip their dagger.
Yep.
And then the third turn, that's the Tunic turn. They generally go Tunic, Swing, Chelicera.
Okay. So it's pretty much a free swing. They have a full grip, play one card in Arsenal. The Tunic will pay for the Chalice activation, right? And then they can have an upside of, yeah, so they have pretty good on hits most of the time, right? Like things that would actually like have some advantage for them hitting you.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about those yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So now we've talked about like their primary early game strategy. Like obviously it's not going to play exactly like that every time.
Right. Where's the
Um,
Black Tech Whispers and Stalker Steps come in? Like, I guess default Black Tech?
I mean, we could talk about it. Like, I mean, one of them has Arcane Barrier and is unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
The other doesn't have Arcane Barrier but is conditional and blocks physical.
Gotcha.
Like, generally don't really care too much
Mhm.
about these in terms of blocking decisions. You're more concerned about the number instead of the go again. You
Okay.
know?
Sure.
But yeah, I think like probably the best place to go from here is to talk about the actual attack reactions they have.
Yep.
Because it's pretty easy to figure out how to block, you know, the upfront numbers. It's whenever they go like dagger for 1 with 4 cards in hand that you're like, I'm a little bit scared, you know?
All right. So, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Tarantula Toxins. This is the fun one.
Oh yeah, this is the shred built in and pump, right? So it's a swing of 6 for 0, right? 0 for
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, it's a 0 cost. Choose one or both. Target dagger attack gets plus free, or target card defending attack with stealth gets minus free this turn.
Yeah,
And
and that
so,
happens with this Chalisra.
yeah.
Yep.
So you'll know the only way to have an attack be simultaneously a dagger and a stealth attack is either through the Chelicera or through Kiss of Death. This is like one of
Yeah.
the reasons why they desperately want to get this Chelicera so bad is like until they do that, Tarantula Toxin is a red block free for the
Yeah.
most part.
So, Kiss of Death came out the hunted reprint and Assassin Mastery pack or no reprint.
We'll see. We'll
All
find
right.
out. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
yeah, it says stealth and dagger on it. It has some other words, but you know, it's a stealth dagger.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you, and it works really well with your Tarantula Toxin.
Yeah. So this is our first like fun rule. If you aren't in danger of dying, just don't block them. You're good at
So,
this.
wait. So you telling me all those years I've been playing Brute, I've been playing it right, where they swing a Tralistra, I'm like, and they have a full grip. I'm like, no block.
Yeah, that's generally the correct play.
No,
Like more often than not, blocking a Chelicera is bad
no kid. I
because
love
you're
it.
getting Tarantula Toxin.
And it's only if
No.
you're in danger of becoming dead. What's the
Yeah, once you're
assassin's?
like below 20 or whatever,
Okay,
things
fair.
start getting dicey. And once you're below 10, yeah, you better start blocking.
How about
That's
swing?
generally what they're trying to do.
How about if they swing Kiss to Death instead of Tralistra? Is it still the same play if you got good life?
Yeah,
Just
it's
don't
just a
block the first one.
Chelicera that looks different, man.
Okay, okay. So the actual
Yeah,
increased power value and the additional losing life doesn't matter. Just take it on the first one at least, because if they have a full
yeah.
grip, they lose 3 points of value just by taking it. So you're still ahead.
Obviously, like turn 0, if they just go Kiss of Death, yeah,
Hmm.
go block like at least 6 if you
Okay.
can, because they're going to probably Tarantula Toxin or something, make it big.
Okay. So that's pretty
Yeah,
easy. All right. So don't block on if you're not in danger of dying if you attack with Chalicera. Kiss of Death. So play the brute way. I love it.
yeah.
So it's only scary if you block, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not real. It can't
Mm,
hurt you. Like
love
if
that.
this card is just like a 0 for free, it sucks. Like if you go up, we have Incision as another attack
Okay.
reaction they have.
Oh yeah,
It's not on
yeah.
screen yet. Yeah,
There it is. Boom.
yeah. This card is not scary at all. It's just target dagger gets plus free. Who cares
Mm.
about this card?
Yeah, it's on rate.
Nobody's
No
ever been like,
relevant
"Oh,
hits.
I'm scared."
Yeah.
But
Okay.
everybody's like, "I'm scared of Tarantula Toxin." But they're the same card if you just, you know, get in the right headspace of blocking is for my opponent.
Like that. Okay. So incision, not really worried about it. So all right, where else to from this point?
The other big attack reaction is to the point because while you can say no blocks to play around Tarantula Toxin, this card is actually their best attack reaction when it comes to just pure damage, like unconditionally for the most part.
So can they attack reaction, flick dagger, mark you with the other hunter's clave, and jump this by an additional point? And if they have
Yeah.
marksman, it'll be jumped by 2 points, right?
No, so this card gives the buff when it resolves,
Okay.
and it doesn't like retroactively like bring it up to 4 if like you somehow become marked
Gotcha. Okay.
after like it's played. But like a very common play you'll see is like they'll be like Kiss of Death, flick my Hunter's Clave to the point, make this really big. Another thing you'll note too is let's say like Arakni has Hunter's Clave and a Chelicera. They swing the Chelicera and have like 1 card left over.
Yeah.
The highest that they can get that Chelicera to is 6 off of flicking the Clave and then playing to the point. And then it gets +1 off of the hero ability.
Right. I said marksman earlier, but I meant marionette. So, or huntsman, but I
Yeah.
meant marionette.
Yeah. And then that flick will deal 1 damage to you.
Okay.
And so that generally means like the most they can do in a singular turn with like 1 to 2 cards ish is a 7.
You know, when you say it like that, it doesn't seem that scary. You know what I mean? Like it's still assassin play, but like sometimes I feel like Warriors front pumps and attack reactions could definitely make it more towering than theirs. Right? As far as attack reaction, like assassin seems like they had the attack reaction speed locked down pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like generally like if you can stay above 7, it's a good thing to try to aim for to like make it so they have to keep another card to like hurt you with.
okay. Now, where to from this? I actually think I know what card you're going to bring up eventually, and when you do, I have a question for you.
Which card do you want to talk about then?
Well, Shred comes to mind because I made a couple
Yeah,
play
we'll talk about
mistakes with
Shred.
this, right? So Shred is usually in an assassin deck ran only
That's the
in
blue.
the
Yeah, they
blue,
only play the
right?
blue. Yeah.
So this one actually, target card defending an assassin attack gets -2 defenses combat chain. It's a blue block 3, assassin attack reaction. I bring this up because this really sucks when they hit your, is it temper or battle worn? I
Yeah.
can't remember. I get them
Yeah,
confused.
temper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this targets a piece of temper equipment and that results in that temper equipment going down to 0 defense when blocking,
Yeah.
or actually 1 as well, when when the chain closes, the temper will actually trigger before the shred stops being relevant.
Yep. And I mentioned that because this has been shredded. It shredded my 2 defense tunic on the one that I pop off to make everything cost 1 less.
Savage Dash.
Yeah, Savage Dash. So fun interaction. So when they're swinging with daggers, it's probably the only time it's probably like, I guess, when do you account with Shred being in the deck and you have your equipment suite? Like Olympia comes to mind. He runs a lot of the temper gold baited equipment, right? What do you block with that to make it like the shred not relevant? Is it daggers only, or just not? You just don't
So what
block.
sucks is that this works on every assassin attack.
Yeah.
So there is no time you can realistically play around shred. You just
Okay.
have to accept it and it sucks. That's why they play it.
Okay. So there is no workaround, but it's kind of like the same thing you got. Life is a resource. If it won't kill you, shred's just a dead card in their hand if you don't block.
Yeah. Another thing too to keep in mind is shred works on all assassin attacks. So this
Okay.
also works on like leave no witnesses or pain in the backside,
Mm-hmm.
which that can be a very real problem in its own right.
Gotcha.
Another thing that's nice too is they generally don't play free of these, and usually they end up siding one out as well
Oh, okay. Too slow or too
against
risky
like aggro
because
decks. Yeah,
yeah.
because you draw multiple shreds in aggro decks that are not blocking
Uh,
you start crying.
yeah, fair. Okay.
Another fun little interaction too with shred is with quick dodge flexors. Since shred says this combat chain, if
Oh
they don't close the
no.
chain and you like quick dodge and they shred that quick dodge and they attack you again, you can't just quick dodge.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
So if
I
you like
didn't.
give up a card on quick dodge, it can get bad.
That's so hilarious. Damn, brutal. All right, all right. That was my one question. Was there another attack reaction you were interested in talking about? There's a
Oh yeah,
lot of
no, we're
them
talking
here.
about all of them. Another
Okay.
thing too is Tarantula Toxin also has like that minus free text.
Yeah.
So that means that you should try your hardest to not give up temper equipment on stealth attacks to play around Tarantula Toxin.
Hmm.
And another thing to keep in mind is if you're like in a situation where you have like a 2 block battle worn equipment and a 2 block temper equipment, like say for example, you're a brute player with Savage Sash and Scavskin Leathers,
Yeah.
you if you're like blocking like an attack for 4 and you just need to block the breakpoint, you want to give up the Savage Sash if it's not a stealth attack, and the Scavskin Leathers if it is a stealth attack, to
Fair.
specifically play around these lines. And like these are just like the little things that can cause you to lose the game to Mario.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Let's see what else we got. We got Stains of the Red back here.
Stains the red bag.
Yeah, it's right next to the Tarantula Toxin.
Okay, boom. Oh yeah, this is if they're marked. It becomes a 0 for 3,
Yeah,
but gives a go again.
Yeah, it costs 1 normally, but if you're marked, it actually costs 1 less, aka 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives a stealth attack plus free and go again.
So it's still a 0. Yeah. It's still a 1 card 3, but it's like, a chain extender.
Yeah, like one of the big things is that it's generally pretty difficult for you to quote unquote block them out. Like, you know, it's very tempting when they throw like a stealth attack at you for 4 to be like, okay, it's pretty easy for them to like give it plus free. I'll block, you know, like 7, 8, or 9 to like stop them from getting the on hit. And then like Mario's ability won't be able to give them go again. And that's like a pretty simple way of like stopping their turn in theory. But Saints of the Redback is like a fantastic counter to that.
Okay.
And so once more, a lot of the time they're going to play a disruptive attack, like a Mark of the Black Widow. They're like, I want to block this, and you don't get to.
Yeah. So let's say they swing Mark of the Black Widow, and they have Flick Knives and Hunter's Claim on board.
They already marked it. They're doing it too. Make it way easier.
Okay. Let's say we're marked, and they swing. Do you just take it and lose the card? Say fuck it.
A lot of the time, yeah. Like something you'll find about Mario is that generally, if you say no blocks for a turn, they're probably only going to be able to take 1 card from you, as long as you have a healthy enough life total.
Okay, like that.
Right. And you generally want to actually become unmarked as much as possible.
So it behooves you to just take the damn hit and then be unmarked and let that game. It's like a mini game that assassin players have to play when they're playing a Mario. They have to mark you in order for some of their attack reactions and their cards to get like that most benefit.
Yeah, the deck is very much designed to be a lot more powerful, like when you're marked. Okay. When you're not. That being said, one of the greatest counters they have to you, like trying your hardest to not get marked, is Scar Tissue. Yeah, a nice simple 0 cost, give a dagger type plus free and on hit mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think like in some ways, I feel like this is more impactful than the potential go game. But I know that sometimes the chain extender really hurts. So
yeah, okay. The big thing with Stains is like its use case for letting them fork you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of situations when you're like, all right, are they going to Stains me or are they going to play like a Codex after? And you just don't get a choice.
Yeah. That's fair. And maybe that's where the confusion for how to handle assassins come from, where, you know, most people are overthinking, oh, I should block this out. This is the exact number, and they play the assassin shenanigans. And you're kind of playing into the hands because if they have the Stains or they got the continuation play where they keep you marked. But sometimes the best thing is, well, I'm at 36 life. There's no way they could present lethal. Take it and then swing back harder. All right.
Yeah, okay. Like, bro, my hand does 20 damage. I'm going to throw 20 at them.
Yeah.
Their hand does 7.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's not really cost efficient too. Their dagger attacks are still like 2 or 1.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, like one of the big things about their end game is generally what they do is they like get like 1 to 2 dagger attack reactions in hand, and then they go like Clay for 1, and if you block that, they're gonna go Shalicera for 1, and if you don't block that, they're gonna play their attack reaction and hurt you.
And that's
and if
for
you
7.
do block it, they're gonna arsenal their attack reaction. They're gonna make you play this game again next turn.
Okay, so
you want to just not get in that situation because it's a very inefficient play line from them to do it.
I like the first one, inefficient place to be in, right? Headspace.
Yeah, like you have to make inefficient plays if they do that.
All right.
And like they're not going to do that unless it's going to be lethal.
So,
and then
I feel like we're missing an attack reaction. Oh, go ahead.
Is not actually in this list. I'm gonna have to pull up the individual card.
Oh, okay. I think I could do that for you. What's the
take up the mantle?
So wait, Slippies don't play this? Or I'm sorry, Slippy's my ass. Mario's don't play this?
Not anymore. Can you guess what card got printed that made this card suck?
All right, let me read it for our listeners. It's Take Up the Mantle, yellow pitch, 0 cost, 3 block, assassin attack reaction. Target attack action card with stealth gets +2 power. If the attacking is a marked hero, instead it gets +3 power. You may banish an attack action card with stealth from your graveyard. If you do, the target becomes a copy of the Spanish card. What card just got printed that this hurts?
Yeah, it was from Omens.
I don't know.
Boots of Omnisword.
Oh, is that like, dude? Let me pull up Boots because I saw
Yeah.
the price skyrocket. But is it because of the Sword? There you go. This is a
Oh,
$60 print.
yeah.
Look at these Omnis Jordans here. Okay, so for the next 1 damage that be dealt to you, this temper. How does this impact? I don't understand how this would.
So, if you're not marked, this card is awful.
Okay.
And the way that they like would mark you is flicking a Hunter's Clave, usually. And so, if they can't like if your opponent goes flick Hunter's Clave, you're gonna automatically go, okay, we're gonna break these boots and prevent that.
So this is only helpful if you are marked. But like,
This is yellow Razor's Edge if you're not marked.
yeah, but eventually you're going to be marked anyways, right? So why wouldn't they just play one of or two of them to take up the
How are
mountain?
they marking you? Like, say out loud how they are marking you.
All right, they'll like anything else we said. They attack you with enough Hunter's Claves. It's going to bleed through eventually, right?
All right, so they pitch a blue to deal 1 damage to you.
Okay.
Why? At that point, like they've already like given up a card to do something, and so like it sounds really scary when you describe like they turned like a blue into like an attack for 7.
Yeah.
But whenever you say they pitched a blue to deal 1 damage to me, and then they used 2 cards to deal 7 damage to me, you're like, oh, they free card aided you? That sounds awful.
Fair. So the Boots of Omnis Ward keeps the Marios honest.
Play differently. But that being said, Take of the Mantle is a card to be aware of, mainly in the instance when they start attacking you with blue stealth attacks. Like sometimes they're doing it just because they like their hand sucks that much. But generally, it's something to be very scared of. Like they'll like attack you with like an attack for 1 with stealth. And then they'll be like, flick you, take up the mantle, it's a kiss of death tarantula toxin. And then you're like, oh no, I can't do the rule of not blocking the kiss of death because they tricked me.
Okay, and that's something we will talk about is the Kiss of Death play lines too, right? Like so.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the deck list here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, we talked about all our attack reactions now.
Okay.
We can talk now about the actual disruption because we've talked about how they like actively kill you. So this is how they like slow you down a bit to make them get away with their somewhat inefficient lines like pitching to Hunter's Clave. So like the first big one is Leave No Witnesses. This is the classic assassin card, 0 for 4 on hit, banish, top card of your deck, and arsenal. Yeah, it says up to 1 card too. They can choose not to do it. You can ask them very nicely and see if they say no.
So it's a May.
Yeah, it's relevant against Vincent actually.
Is Black Widow and the Kiss of Death lady the same, or Leave No Witness lady the same?
I mean, they're presumably all different Arachnis. The Arachni stuff is very complicated.
Yeah, okay. We'll have to
Dr.
say Havoc. Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Mortimer is actually the creator of the Arachnis.
No kidding. Is that real?
Yeah, he's a divorced dad.
No. Okay. I'm getting the Full Metal Alchemist vibes from Mortimer. What's his name? The one that turned the kid into the dog?
Show Tucker.
There you go. Yeah. Call it Dr. Tucker.
Yeah, you can get the shirt that's at every anime convention. It's
the Ginyu Force, and then it's like, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the one thing you'll know about Leave No Witnesses, though, is that it's not a stealth attack, and it's not a dagger attack. So it's actually very hard for them to give this like any buffs.
Okay. Is there a way for them to give it a buff other than the shreds?
So the Agents of Chaos, half of them just say targets assassin attack gets +3. And so they can buff Leave No Witnesses in that way, but that line tends not to actually happen that often, funnily enough.
Yeah.
So what that means is Leave No Witnesses is like generally the best thing to block
with your equipment.
Mario. Yeah, like this is our like exception to the rule. You can block Leave No Witnesses.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes like they play this after they play the Codex of Frailty line because it's just 0 for 4 coming from
their
arsenal.
You to have an arsenal.
Yeah. Take out your arsenal type of thing. So
yeah. And another thing too that they'll very often do is that they'll like mark you.
Mm.
Like for example, they'll like swing their Shalicera or Kiss of Death, and they'll like scar tissue it to give it the like on hit mark, and then they'll play leave no witnesses, and you're like, oh no, I either take the leave no witnesses and lose my arsenal, or I block it and I let them end the turn with me mark. That sucks.
What would you
And
do?
so like a very common
Um,
play pattern to get around that is to play a Crown of Providence.
yeah, okay, fair.
Or you
Right.
can like put like a instant in your arsenal that you're happy to play. Like
Mm.
Sigil of Solace is a really good one. You can be like, yeah, no blocks, take 4. In response, play the Sigil of Solace, gain my free life. Now the leave no witnesses just became a 0/4. That's pretty lame.
So I mean, I'm talking selfishly now. Olympia, Kabuto would probably be pretty good against Assassin, right? Because it's usually the second dagger swing. Or is it, do they swing daggers twice in a turn? Or should I just keep on getting Crown
Um,
of Providence back?
they can, but generally I think Crown of Providence is better
Okay.
into Mario because it lets you like deny their leave no witnesses fork,
Okay.
because that's
Yeah.
like the primary fork
Perfect.
of the deck.
Perfect. All right. You know what?
Um,
Maybe with my Mario and Olympia, I should probably put the Nourishing Emptiness back in, too. I just thought about
you
that.
can.
Just one.
Hell, well, that does mean that Codex of Frailty makes you discard cards.
If there's
Like
no
as
legal
Olympia,
target,
yeah, as Olympia, you have counterplay of just never arsenaling
yeah.
unless you're arsenaling like a defense reaction against Mario.
I mean, technically, I guess if Lino Witness comes out, right, and then banish top card of the deck and up to one card in their arsenal, but the Codex of Frailty play is it has to be an attack action card. So if you don't have an attack action card,
Yeah,
right,
it just gives you a frailty.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Other things you can do too is you can like throw overcrowded in your deck.
yep.
Yeah, overcrowded gets +1 defense when it blocks for each aura with a different aura token with a different name in the arena.
Yeah.
Codex of Frailty creates a ponder token and a frailty token, so it makes overcrowded block for 4, and it can block from arsenal. So,
Mm.
when your opponent does Codex of Frailty and leave no witnesses, you block with overcrowded.
How many overcrowded should a person run in a deck typically? I mean, I know it's so deck dependent, hero dependent, but what would you say is too much? Is it 3
Uh,
or is it like
yeah,
1 or
generally
2?
3 is too much.
Okay.
Generally, like you'll see like 2 if you're playing like a deck that really wants to see it.
Hmm.
A lot of the time, you'll just see like people play 1 just to hit whenever it happens. Like
Mm.
this is like something that's integral for like fatiguing Mario. If you're gonna like try to fatigue Mario, like one of the worst things that happens is
Mm.
like you have like 1 to 2 cards left in hand. They play Codex of Frailty. You're forced to discard 1, and then they play a Leave No Witnesses, and they take your arsenal, and like, ugh. But if you have overcrowded, that line becomes not even scary.
Gotcha. Interesting. It's a good tech card though. All right. What are we
Yeah, Leave No
talking about now?
Witnesses. I'm done with that. Pain in the Backside's another fun one.
The name of most Mario
So this
decks.
is yeah, this is a 0 for free of Go Again. On hit, have a dagger, deal 1. So what this basically means is if they have a Hunter's Clave, it's a 0 for free of Go Again. On hit, take 1, get marked. So
Yeah.
this is like one of the easy, like this is the one efficient way to mark outside of like Flick Knives.
Okay. This is a target 2 block, right? I mean, being aware of Shred, but this is kind of like very similar to the
This is a
Leave No
shred card.
Witnesses.
That being said, this is also a card that's very hard for them to actually buff.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the time you can just block this for free, especially like as an aggro deck. If you like look at your hand and you're like, oh, I have like 1 free block that I can't really use super efficiently, and they go paid in the backside and you're not marked, this is a fantastic card to block. It can really stymie a lot of their turns.
So don't even worry about like don't play scared like, oh, they might have the Shred. Just block it for 3 and if they have it type of thing.
Yeah, you just need to accept that, you're going to suffer sometimes.
Because I know sometimes they're so scared. People are scared of getting marked and having all those shenanigans happen because it starts steamrolling the Mario. But you're saying just throw 3, move on with your day. I like that. Makes it very
Yeah.
less pain in
Yeah.
the backside.
Yeah, sometimes your hand is like so good you don't need to.
Fair.
But generally, yeah, this is like one of the best cards to block. Another interaction too that's quite interesting about it is the dealing 1 damage is a trigger that can be responded to. So let's talk about Boots of Omnisword here. Like a fun line you can do is you can go block with Boots of Omnisword, and then when the trigger happens, you go break Boots to prevent the 1 ping to deny the mark. And it's really fun too if you're already marked and they play pain in the backside.
Because it
Because a lot of
unmarks
the
you.
time they're not going to imagine that you're going to do that.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's why the Boots really went up. It really is a good counterplay too. One of the more popular decks in the meta.
Yeah, It's also really good against Syndra, and then of
Mm.
course they announced Viserai, and I'm sure a lot of decks are going to want to play Omnisword into Viserai.
Dang, I should have got them when they were cheap. I bet you they're so expensive now.
Yes, I got my Omniswords for like $60. And I'm like, wow, this is
Oh
like
no.
60, and I'm like, yo,
Ugh.
this is free money. And then like US Nationals hit, and everybody's like, yo, this card's good. It's like, yeah,
See, I
duh.
usually pick up the generic stuff like early because I know they could like pop off. But now I'm gonna look up the price real quick off. Other than holy shit, dude. Okay. So I saw 120 bucks. I was about to freak out. Right now they're still around 70 bucks. They went from $20, $27 all the way up to 70. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Should you pick them up for 7? This is not financial advice, guys, but so would you recommend picking it up for $70? Do you think they're only going to go up, or you think there's going to be other things that big a play? Like,
I don't think they're getting reprinted anytime soon, is the thing.
ah, damn. All right. I might have to pick up my copy. That sucks. All right. So going on, Boots Omnis Sword. $70 is probably the most reasonable price you're going to see in a long time.
Yeah. So like other fun things we can talk about the stealth attacks here. So Mark of the Black Widow is like the primary stealth attacker. I talked about it a little bit earlier.
Yep. Just take it, lose a
So
card.
yeah, pretty much all the stealth attacks are 0 for freeze. If you're wondering what stealth does, by the way, because we haven't talked about it yet, it means it has stealth.
Yeah.
There's no reminder text. That's the entire thing. And
Yeah.
cards care about stealth, but stealth itself doesn't have it. That was a very fun spoiler season when they first dropped Tracer's Edge, and they're like, "What the fuck is a stealth?"
I like it though.
Mark of Black Widow just says when this hits a marked hero, they banish a card from their hand. A few things to know. It does say hits a marked hero. It doesn't say when this hits a hero if they are marked. So they can't like hit you with Mark of the Black Widow, discard a Reaper's Call to give it an on hit after like you've said no blocks.
So if they move past the reaction step, there is no time to react for them to play any kind of discharge shenanigans to mark you.
Yeah. Another big thing is since it's a stealth attack, it can get +1 from Mario's hero ability. So they just go Mark of the Black Widow with like nothing, and you're like, all right, I need to block this out to deny them the on hit because I really want my hand. You're going to have to probably block 4.
Okay.
Because they're just going to like flick knives, bring you down to 4. Will bring it up to 4. And like generally this is like one of their primary fort cards. They're going to like go Mark of the Black Widow as like a chain ender. And you're going to be like, well, I can block 4 or I can lose a card. And both situations suck.
Yeah.
And if, by the way, if you're like a Mario player listening to this randomly, if you want to know how to get good at Mario, just figure out how many times you can make your opponent go, God, this sucks per game.
That's good.
If you just maximize that, your win rate will probably go up.
That's a good advice. You've been talking to Zach a lot, or Saint Havoc, so I'm sure you played against enough assassins in the day 2s and top tournaments. So, all right. Where else do you want to go? You want to just go right here to the Meat Madness?
Yeah, Meat Madness. That's right.
One of my favorite cards.
Yeah, no, I like it. So this one's pretty fun because it has on hit choose one at random. And yeah, whenever you're choosing one at random, make sure your opponent tells you what the numbers on the die they're rolling mean before they roll it. But
that's fair.
So let's see. So one mode is they banish a card from hand, one's banished card in arsenal, and one's banished top card of the deck.
Yeah.
So other interesting things about this is that this one, due to the way its trigger works, when it goes onto the stack to have the like on hit resolve, the mode is chosen.
Okay.
So what that means is you know what's getting banished before Meat Madness actually finishes resolving and banishing a card. So if you have like a Sigil of Solace in Arsenal, you can say, okay, the only bad like scenario is they hit a card from my hand. I'm just going to say no blocks and pray. And then they roll like Arsenal. You can just respond to that with playing the Sigil of Solace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's something that's not completely intuitive because of the way the card's worded.
How about if it's, I mean, I guess that makes sense. So you really don't care if a card comes off the top of your deck. I don't know of any deck that, or any hero that would really care about that. And then, card in hand would suck. And sometimes, you just might not have an arsenal. So I can see why people only play 2 of them in this deck. 66% of the time it sucks.
Yeah. Because the thing is that most people have to block it as though it's going to do something. Yeah, like this is very much the way to think about this is it's leave no witnesses 4 and 5. Yeah, like
fair.
Codex of Frailty is like a really good card, but if you don't draw like a leave no witnesses, This card feels so awkward. Like sometimes playing Mario, you get to like turn free and you're like, I've drawn 0 red attacks this whole game.
So you're saying Meat Madness is the fourth and fifth, leave no witness because they're just if they don't have no leave no witness, they go and grab it with Codex of Frailty. Right? It's another target for the Codex.
Yeah, it's another good Codex target. Because like Mark
No
of the Black
kidding.
Widow is like only as good as your mark sources.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And Pain in the Backside, they might grab that with Codex, maybe?
Yeah.
Or would they still
Yeah,
grab the
that's
meat?
actually like a fairly common target for like
Okay.
Codex whenever they're in like interesting scenarios. Like one of the big ones is against fatigue decks. They'll actually grab Pain in the Backside with Codex in an
Mm-hmm.
attempt to mark you again, or like they'll grab Pick Up the Point just to get another dagger because it's kind of hard to block the flick.
Oh yeah. You know
Yeah, but
what?
that's fatigue stuff. So who cares about that? We're talking about aggro, unga bunga, no blocks as much as possible.
my love language, man. My love
Yeah, but
language.
I think about testing Mario after the Pro Tour. I realized I was blocking too much and started cutting defense reactions. That's much.
Dude, you know what? I never really had an issue with Mario's, right? But I never really I didn't like blocking them, right? I didn't feel good about it, right? But now that you're kind of like reconfirming that I was right in my ignorance this whole
Yeah, they want you to
time,
block them.
dude, I was like, okay.
They're like trying to play like this advanced game with you, and like you're like, no, I don't want to do this game.
But you,
Just like give me the penalty.
you kind of walking through this though, it's really kind of clicking. Like I'm remembering my Mario games, and I kind of, sometimes when you see the shine in their eyes, you're thinking, oh, they got something sneaky. No, that's just tears almost forming if you decide not to block. I get it now, Andrew. All right,
Yeah,
all
it's a
right.
trick you can do against what is it, Olympia as well, or actually Olympia as well.
Yeah,
Also does it, where you just like say no blocks because like half their cards have like reprise or whatever. Like Olympia, like sometimes they're like, all right, I'll send this big attack for 10, and they'll like definitely block it, and I'll play this into the muck. You're like, yeah, no blocks. You're like, no.
that happened to me 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so I had it into the muck for like 2 turns, and they knew it because it was the only card I wasn't playing. Very
Yeah,
telegraphed for it being a
yeah.
reaction,
And then
right?
the final stealth attack is Art of Desire Body.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this.
Yes, this has on hit banish the top card of your deck, and if it banishes a red card, they'll draw a card and gain 1 life.
This one, I feel like you want to block.
Yeah. So this one is, kind of interesting because it's not so like in Flesh and Blood, like, the common meme saying is the only types of on hits are Snatch and Command and Conquer. In
Yeah,
this, yeah, all the ones we talked about are Command and Conquers. This is a Snatch.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it can be like quite scary to like let this hit because like the hero ability will give it go again, and they'll can like gain a life. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, you have to be playing a deck with enough red cards for it to matter. Like a lot of the time, this is something that you won't see unless like you're a deck that's playing like 40 plus reds.
So this is one of those that might sideboard out, but like might sideboard. But if you're a red heavy deck, they'll bring it in. So
Yeah,
if they swing Art of Desire Body at you, I know you're going to have a quiz for me later to see if I retain all this crap, right?
yeah.
Or all this nuggets of information, all this information. So with when they swing at you with Art Desire Body, and it's not going to kill you, right? Do you just take it?
It depends.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's like, do you block Snatch? Sometimes.
So just think about this as a snatch, and you like play it like it's a
Yeah,
snatch, right?
yeah.
I guess that
But
makes
like
sense.
yeah, like sometimes too, like they have a ponder already. Like, if they're like codexing into it, I'm way less likely to block it, for example.
Fair.
What's it got? Oh, they also got like Command and Conquer. Which, if you haven't figured out how Command and Conquer
Hmm.
works yet,
You know,
here's your
it's
sign to go learn how this card works.
uh,
Know that they very likely can have one copy in their deck.
the secret is don't have an arsenal.
Yeah. Speaking on the topic of snatches, we also have Savor Bloodshed.
Oh yeah. That's a big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Just a 0 cost next dagger attack. It's +4, and next time you hit a marked hero with a dagger this turn, draw a card. Yep. So like this works with flick knives. So like if you're already marked, chances are you just can't stop this.
Okay.
Yeah. So like like what's it called? Like the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're marked, you just go straight to acceptance with
Fair
Savor
enough.
Bloodshed.
How about if you're
Usually.
not marked? Like, and they got the
All right.
flick knives up though, and you don't have
So
boots.
okay, if you don't have boots, good luck blocking it.
Okay.
But if you do have boots up, this is like one of the primary reasons to play Boots of Omnis Ward is Savor Bloodshed is a lot less scary.
Mm.
Because when they go like Saber Bloodshed's up 6 and run, Kiss of Death for like 11, and you're like not marked, and they had the clave up, you're like, this is gonna be spooky. This is a really good card. Whenever you have the Omnisword up in that situation, you're like, well, this sucks. Guess I'm taking 12.
But at least you're not drawing a card, right?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, like, the difference of them getting a 0 for 4 that draws Fate for Scene to then block 4, and them just having a 0 for 4, night and day.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And then see, Arakni is pretty special too, because we don't have just the cards in deck. We also have the Agents of Chaos.
Yeah. And I guess each of them do their own thing, yeah.
Yeah. So things to keep in mind about the Agents of Chaos is 3 of them give any assassin attack plus free by discarding an assassin card from hand.
That's the Black Widow, the
Funnel and Redback.
Funnel Web, and Redback.
1, 2, and 4. Yeah. If you read Tarantula, that's the 5th one. It kind of reads like the others, but it doesn't actually. It just says target dagger attack. Yeah. So like that's something to like keep in mind. That's like a little bit different. But both Black Widow and Funnel Web are capable of giving some pretty strong on hits. Funnel Web you tend to know is going to have the on hit in advance, and so you really know not to arsenal the turn that they transform into Funnel Web. This is the actual worst Mario form. Like, if you can roll them 2s all day long, do it.
Yeah. Funny enough, I'm sure that in the next set, banishing card in our arsenal might actually prove helpful in some ways.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if you're Vincent, you can do some funny things.
Yeah.
But big thing I want to talk about here, though, is Black Widow. So Black Widow, the first form has once per turn, attack reaction, discard an assassin card, target assassin attack gets plus free, and if it has stealth, it gets, when this hits a hero, they banish a card from their hand. So a very interesting interaction is between this and Kiss of Death.
There it is.
So Kiss of Death here, you'll know it's a dagger attack and it's a stealth attack. So obviously they can Black Widow this. But what's also fun is that if they give this go again with their boots and then play another attack and then flick the Kiss of Death, it still has the banish a card from hand text on it from Black Widow. You'll note that this doesn't work with Shalicera. They can't flick a Shalicera and have it banish a card from your hand. And the reason for that is because when you attack with weapons, you're not attacking with the weapon. You're actually creating a copy of the weapon on the combat chain or something weird like that. Don't ask. Go ask your local judge. I'm sure they'll happily explain it to you after saying it 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like something that's very important to keep in mind, is that if they're Black Widow and they swing Kiss of Death at you, a lot of the time you're just going to have to block because you're already losing your hand anyway. Like, it sucks if they like Tarantula Toxin you or whatever, but like if you're not going to have a hand, you're not going to have a hand. So you might as well try to do something with it.
So, like, I guess one of the power turns is Saber Bloodshed, then Kiss of Death. They break boots to give it go again, and then they're coming in with the second attack, which, let's say, could be, I guess,
pain in the backside.
Pain in the
That's
backside.
a fun one. Yeah, because pain in the backside, you didn't have to block because it has the Kiss of Death on it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's probably their power turn, though, right? That's the thing that people remember and have a feels bad about.
Yeah, they're not going to do that too consistently. But yeah, if that happens, a lot of the time you will just lose.
Okay. If they get that off, you kind of got to just say, give them the hand and kind of reset the clock, and hopefully they don't swing back as hard.
Yeah, like that's like the kind of situation where you really hope you drew like 2 defense reactions randomly, and you just block with your non-defense reactions and be like, all right, let's go.
Okay. And do you save your equipment if you have a good fridge for turns like this specifically?
I don't generally like to block with equipment on Kiss of Deaths if I can help it.
Okay.
Main exception is like, stuff like where I'm going to use the equipment next turn. Like if I'm playing Acilio and I will have like 6 Sigil of Fates, yeah, I'm going to block with my Aether Bindings.
Okay.
Or like my Lightning Greaves if I'm like got the cool Kiss of Death hand, like it's like on and flash hand.
So
or
I guess you just got to risk the Tarantula Toxin at that time then.
Yeah. Another big one is if you have equipment that is disruptive when it blocks. A good example of this is like Scowling Fleshbag.
Love it.
Like if they have 1 card in hand when they like do all this, and you just like Scowling Fleshbag them, you just got to dodge this entire interaction.
Yeah.
So that means that if you have Scowling Fleshbag, they have to keep another card in hand. Was it Face Purgatory is also similar in that regard.
Yeah, and then Eliath has a couple defensive cards that intimidate on defense too.
Yeah, you can have fun. You block with the two-faced, and
Yeah,
then they, yeah, it'd be like, okay, you know what? You can have a fate for scene, and you can lose to the point.
that's funny. All right, so where else do you want to go with this deck?
So
We
our final
talked
fun
about the
little
Chaos
tools,
Heroes.
yeah, fun little tools we talk about are the traps. Because we'd be
Okay,
saying, why on earth would how they block impact how I block them? Well, you see, there's this fun card called Inertia Trap.
familiar with this?
Yeah, so this was when this defends an attack with power greater than space, create an inertia token under the attacking hero's control. An
And
inertia token says when you go to Arsenal, put that card on the bottom instead. And so, it's very common to want to Arsenal a defense reaction against Mario because, lets you counteract a lot of their plays. But what happens if, say, for example, your Chain Ender is an attack with power greater than its base, or like you're going to attack with like something that gets buffed over the course of the turn.
yeah,
Suddenly, you could end up in a situation where they inertia trap you, and you're like, there goes that. And to make matters even better, they have a fun card called Under the Trap Door.
this is going to
Which,
go up in stonks.
yeah, because of Mortimer. Yeah, which Under the Trap Door is a card they can discard to basically play a trap out of their graveyard. So you'd think normally when they like already play the inertial trap, they're less likely to have it. But in actuality, they're more likely to have it because now they have free Under the Trap Doors that are live.
Yeah, I know. Funny enough, this card was at $10, and right now it's just $7.30. I thought it would be more than that. You know what I mean? Especially with Mortimer being
At
announced and
one
Assassin
point, it
Master
was
Pack.
50 cents.
There you go. Okay. All right. Thank you to good old Travis who gave me my third one because I didn't have any. I didn't have my playset. So he's like, hey, have it. It was 50 cents at the time. So appreciate it, man. All right. What else are we talking about here?
Let's go. And then we also have Frailty Trap, which this is mainly something to keep in mind based on like play order stuff. So Frailty
Mhm.
Trap, when a defense attack with Go again, it creates a Frailty token. So generally, if you're going to attack with like an attack with Go again from Arsenal, or if it's your weapon, if it's an attack that's already coming in for like free or less, you want to open up with that. Because
Mhm.
then if they Frailty Trap that attack with Go again, and give like the attack -1, bringing it down to 2, suddenly they blocked free on 2. Instead of if you go, okay, I'm going to attack you for 0 for 4 with Go again. They're like, okay, Frailty Trap, take 1. And then you're like, attack you for 2. And they're like, okay, take 2. Much different outcome.
Sure.
And this is something that comes up quite a bit with like Codex of Frailty. Like they'll play Codex of Frailty, you'll put like a 0 for 4 with Go again into Arsenal or something like that.
And I see Den of the Spider here as well.
Yeah, you can't really play around down on the spider or layer of the spider. You just have to accept it as like the best ways for them to mark you.
That's fair. All right. I guess one other card we didn't talk about was, did we talk about Persuasive Prognosis?
No. So Persuasive Prognosis has a lot of words on it. What you have to understand is just block however much it's coming in for and
Okay.
pray they can't do anything cool with it.
Comes in for 1, just block for value.
Yeah, generally they do not want to play this card.
Interesting.
Like yeah, this card is really below rate, like, and it's like not even guaranteed to do something cool.
So this is more like a bluff card, right? Like I want to throw Persuasive Prognosis. I'm gonna get something good for you. Most people see this card and remember the New Days, and they're like, "Oh shit, I gotta block this thing out." And
Yeah, and you're like,
so
oh god, they're gonna go like, what is it, grain that tips the scale, give it +1, and then like Mask of Recurring Nightmares me, yada
I,
yada yada.
I guess the whole then look at their hand. I guess you're right though because on value it's 1, but if you're playing an all red card, sure it's 1 stuck, right? But if you have like a good value of different colors in your deck, then this one might lose out 40% of the time, right? Okay.
Yeah. Like, sometimes like yeah, like a lot one of the primary reasons why this card is in the deck is because it's a good blue stealth attack. So in their late game scenarios, they can go like Prognosis, Stains, give it Go again into like fatigue decks and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Or like it lets them like at least have a nominal amount of disruption if they're drawing very poorly.
Okay.
So side of yeah, I think that's it for like the actual Mario deck itself. Let's talk about things you can do to beat Mario that help.
All right.
Yeah. So one thing that's really good into Mario is defense reactions, as we talked about.
Funny those pesky defense reactions, how good they are in certain decks.
Yeah, you have to be careful about being too defensive because suddenly, like, you're going to play into Tarantula Toxin and stuff if
Mm.
you're defending if you're playing too many defense reactions. And then you'll also have consistency issues of your own. But a lot of the time, playing like, a solid like free shelter from the storm is a fantastic place to be. Like you saw how many times like Mario, like brought up like Mario attacking you for 4. If you have a defense reaction, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. No blocks.
Uh,
Use the defense reaction for value, and then if they have it, they have it.
yeah. So, yeah. We already talked about Omnis Ward. Another thing to keep in mind too is that if you don't want to spend your $70 on Omnis Ward, generally you can probably play Boots of Astral Sanctuary instead because it has most of the relevant text.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pull this up because I don't want to spend $70.
Yeah, no, it came in your pre-release kit in cold foil.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it just says tap your hero.
It's funny. I pulled up a TCG player instead of a February. That's so hilarious. And man, I am. That's the high dollar one. And then you're talking about the freebie. So
yeah. Like if you're like especially a newer player that's like I got no money. Yeah, don't go out of your way to get this card. That's only really useful in one matchup.
So
until, like you have everything else in your deck.
Boots of Astral Sanctuary probably good enough if you don't have Omnis Ward. Omnis Ward, you still get one more value, but this will do kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah, like a lot of the times you're never going to get a good opportunity to block with Omnis Ward. Anyway, you're just going to have to use it for the instant ability. Syndra is the main matchup where losing access to the one block matters because against Syndra, it's pretty obvious when like you can get away with blocking like Chain Link 2 and forcing them to not be able to close the chain.
Yeah, I do like Boots of Astral Sanctuary for that if you can't really get the Omnis Ward, especially if it's for just one matchup Mario and it's to prevent that flick or the Kiss Death plays. Right on.
Yeah. Other fun things we talked about like instance like Sigil of Solace already. Good arsenal targets to play around all their stuff.
So that's more like the Sigil of Solace is just because it's an instant ability you can land in your arsenal and then not worry about the banishing arsenal because you can just stack it and then cast it.
Yeah, another thing too I was talking about earlier is how like the swinging the daggers is fairly inefficient. Well, generally what's going to happen is in the late game they're going to swing their daggers and do this inefficient play to try to kill you. And you're going to say no blocks, and then they'll like make this big overextension, and then you can Sigil of Solace, survive at like 2. Suddenly they overextended, and you still have a full hand to go back at them with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but like generally this is something you'll more often see in like the Lightning heroes. Like was it like Acilio has tons of instance heal happily arsenal. Ziggy can at least arsenal like a Restless Coalescence or something.
Yeah.
Other things to do is you can find cards that punish Codex of Frailty. Like an easy one is like the Overcry, but like other things you can do is cards that do things when they're discarded, like Beast Within, for example. You always think about Beast Within as like this insane thing to discard to Blood Rush Bellow because like it does cool things.
Yeah.
But if your opponent makes you discard it because they like play Codex of Frailty,
it's true. It does get around that. It does get rid of that. Love it.
Yeah. Other fun cards are Fiddler's Green. It's another thing that does something cool when you discard it. And it's also a very efficient way to block a Hunter's Cliff.
And it's cheap too.
Yeah, like a lot of the time you're going to want to block a Hunter's Clave because to like deny the mark. And there's not a lot of efficient ways to do that. And so a lot of the time you're just going to say, screw it, we're going to take it. Fiddler's Green is a great way to play around that.
Would you only play the red?
Yes.
Okay.
Please do not play.
I'm sorry, I gotta click on this. It came up, but I have to see what it is because I've never seen this shit before. All right. I'm sorry, I gotta do the same thing again. I've never seen this shit before, dude.
The Bard cards.
Dude, I've never seen it. I don't know why it came up. I guess because I put Fiddler down. But okay, go on. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the screen.
And yeah, the final thing that's really fun is just playing Disruption. One thing you'll know about Mario is that the deck doesn't actually block that well. Like it has like some defense reactions, but even then the defense reactions are often only blocking free.
It's funny because I remember I was finding St. Havoc over in Memphis, and it really was a swing fest. We were over in 3 turns, but it really was who popped off first. And I think it made one play mistake by blocking a little too much 1 turn, and it lost my advantage, right? But he also high rolled the dice roll. He had to get exactly what he needed on that one. I do it too, so I'm not mad about rolling dice to win the game. But he popped off right there, maximized damage, dealt like 15 or 16. But it was all because of my previous turn. I did that play by blocking a little bit inefficiently, where I should have just blocked it all because he did the whole Tarantula Toxin play. Right. So, anyways, yeah, this is good,
Yeah.
man. This is real freaking good.
Yeah, so like, if you can like just throw like a command and conquer at like Mario and they have an arsenal, that often forces them to just not have a next, just have a bad next turn.
So, are you scared of Mario like at all when you see like I know you played against Clemens several times, right? Jacob Clemens, and
I've
he's a
never
Mar.
played Kid
Oh, really?
Games.
Who did you
Yeah,
fight
I
with?
played like I was at the Vegas. I played against Daniel Rukowski and
Who else was on
Francesco
Assassin?
Giorgio.
Okay, okay. So are you're not really worried about Mario's?
Yeah, no, generally like against Mario, like I think like if everybody played optimally, Mario like wouldn't be viewed as like that good of a deck, but like it's physically impossible to play optimally against Mario.
Mm.
Like even at like insane level, like what was it like even the Pro Tour finals, I was having plays where I'm like disagreeing with how Felipe's blocking Mario, and like that guy's got second at the Pro Tour. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, but if you look about the law of averages, right, and in Flesh of Blood, it favors those that reward like player knowledge, especially in a game that goes long or over the course of multiple games in a tournament or session, whatever. The right play would most likely be block either at value or don't block at all from Mario if you take the hit. Take the hit because you're saying the swing back would overall be more effective than you trying to play Mario's game of do I block? Do I think about this too hard? You like just bump all that and just block what you block efficiently when you can, or don't block at all and take it and swing back hard, right? And that we're talking about more for like if you're playing a defensive game, it's going to be a slightly different plan, but you can still take this knowledge of knowing the different chains and what they're trying to attempt to do. But like from a more aggro standpoint, this is kind of how you navigate it so you can have the more winning edge, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. All
Yeah, it's like well the thing I was saying too earlier about like how to like improve as a Mario player is put your opponent in situations where they're like this sucks as much as possible is because you're putting them in a situation where they can make the wrong decision as much as possible. And it's really hard to make the right decision 5 times in a game.
right. All right. So we're going to the slideshow. Let's go ahead and give Andrew the screen here. All right.
Yeah,
All
so I'm gonna
right.
disappear. Boop.
All right. Okay.
Got the slideshow. Oh yeah, it worked.
All right. To our audience, I think what did they say? They could pause along and play with us. But I will be the player this time. And Andrew, go ahead and explain things.
Yeah, so we got some fun rules. So number one, you can't assume that you cannot fatigue the Mario.
Okay.
In the examples, all the decks are empty because I forgot to put cards in the deck when I was doing it, and I realized after the fact I'm not going back and putting deck cards in the deck for no good reason. Also, assume that Mario is only playing cards we've discussed in the episode. I made sure to go out of my way to mention some of them so that way there were no surprises.
Okay.
We're also going to assume that graveyards basically have access to any card in them, not just like whatever you see on top to make things simpler. And then finally, we're going to do a little bit of an assumption here that's not realistic, which is basically they have equal access to every card in their deck. In a real game, you can actually, pick up their graveyard and be like, oh, they've blocked with free tarantula toxins.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot play tarantula toxin anymore. I am now going to play in a way that loses to tarantula toxin. But in this, they always have free tarantula toxins.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go into our first little example here. So here it's quite simple. You're at 7, and Mario has 1 card in hand. Their turn, they went activate Tunic and swing Chelicera for 1. How much do you have to block this Chelicera for to not die?
To block, well, reach is 7. All right. So if you throw a 3 or block with a 3, you should be fine. But you could probably block with a 2 and get away with it.
So what's the minimum amount?
Okay. Minimal amount. If reach is 7, all right, and they're throwing 1 at you, that's 1. So they could pump it to 7. And you were at what life?
You're at 7. How are they
Okay.
going to pump it up to 7, by the way?
Dude.
What card are they going to play?
Like you're gonna have to tell me. You know I don't remember these card games,
You have the
right?
deck list up in another tab. You know
You know
this.
you know what? You're right. You're right. Shit. I
This
was
is an
trying to.
open note test, like open book
Okay, it's
test.
open book test. Good. All right, so if you're at 7, if their reach is at 7, their reach is 7, and they're throwing 1 at you, you just pretty much have to block 2, is what I'm assuming. All right. Now, what they can do as far as pumping that bad boy up for the graphene, I mean, we're going to assume that they don't have tarantula toxin, right? And then, how many cards in hand?
We have one card in hand, and it can be tarantula toxin.
Okay, yeah, that's tarantula toxin.
Yeah, no, we're talking about deterministically, not dying here.
Yeah, it's tarantula. They have tarantula toxin, right? So yeah, that's how they can get to 7. So you just got block 2.
So what else are they going to do to like buff this deck? Like, because right now it's only coming in for 1, and tarantula toxin brings it up to 4. That doesn't come anywhere
And
near 7.
it minuses down the card to 3. So okay.
Right now, like this is only a dagger for 1. How are they going to buff it up? Besides, like give it +3 or whatever.
What would it be, Andrew? Mario.
Well, so a simple thing they could do is they could flick the Hunter's Clave to deal 1 damage to you, bring Shalicera up to 2 with the hero power.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
then what card could they possibly play to give their dagger +4?
That would be the one that when you mark it gets +4. And I'm pretty sure.
Say his name.
I'm looking. It is. Don't tell me to the point.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And so yeah, this is like the simplest thing they can do here for like their reach of 7. Now, what's also pretty funny though is another play they could do is they can flick the Hunter's Clave to bring the Shalicera up to 2. Because let's say, for example, you block 1 on the dagger. Because, that's the minimum you have to block to not die here, deterministically.
Okay.
So they flick the Hunter's Clave and give it +1. Then what happens is it hits you, and it gets Go again off of the hero ability. And then they can go Codex Leave No Witnesses afterwards.
Okay. So was it 2? Was 2 the correct answer?
So 1 is the correct answer, but ideally you'd like to block 2.
Okay. Fair.
Let's see. Here's our next simple scenario.
Okay. So you got Stalker Steps there. All right.
Yeah. So here they have a Kiss of Death, and you are marked. So they flipped into Black Widow last turn, and they're daggerless as well. So we're just gonna have the fun question of like, what is the most damage they can possibly do this turn?
So how many cards in hand? 2?
They have 2 cards in hand, and you've like decided not to block.
So the most damage I could do will Kiss Death will hit, and then they will give Stalker Steps. Give it Gogan.
Wait, actually, hold on. Oh, let me look ahead.
I'm not looking, guys. I'm looking away to see what Stalker Steps does.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
Stalker Steps gives it Go again.
Okay, so they're going to give it Go again. They're going to swing another attack. They're going to flip the Kiss of Death. All right. So and then +3 from the Arakni Black Widow, causing you to lose a card. So that's what 3, 4, 7, and possibly an attack from hand. So 10. They could probably do 10 damage to you.
Yeah. So like very simply, like they could like double to the point, bring it up to 11, and then on hit make you lose 1 life. This is more of like just showing off what can happen, sort of thing. So for example, they could just go activate Black Widow, Stalker Steps, Kiss of Death, and then swing like a Leave No Witnesses, and that's like an insanely disruptive turn here.
Yeah. I mean,
that's in this scenario, like, you feel like you lost the game. Other fun things they could do, they can like Black Widow up to 6, and then Tarantula Toxin. This is what I meant earlier, where I said like you just have to accept you're losing your hand. There's no way you block this out without giving up the entire hand. But yeah, so our next example here. Your Mario opponent attacks you with an Under the Trapdoor from their arsenal that they drew off a Ponder last turn. They have 1 Hunter's Clave, no Shaliceras. They are base form, and they have Flick Knives up. What is the largest number that this trapdoor can go up to?
The largest number the trapdoor could go up to? Damn. First off, they're attacking with the trapdoor. That's kind of fucking weird. But
yeah, they have no other equipment than this Flick Knives here.
Yeah, but they're going to flip the Hunter's Clave with Mario's ability, bringing it to a 2. 2 cards in hand, so it's still a stealth attack. So let's say, what's the most is the question, correct?
Yeah. Let's not assume that they're like doing any like sidestep, like go against stuff.
Okay. Well, if they have 2 to the points, then what they could do is do the Under the Trapdoor, Flick the Knives, mark you, then play 2 to the points, making a total of 10 damage.
How are they going to the point a stealth attack? It's not a dagger.
Shit, you're right, dude. Okay, so let's go ahead and say this is why we're good. This is good. Okay, so it's actually stealth attack that they are going to buff, and that one would be target dagger. Target attack with stealth gets +3 and go again, so there's stains of the redback. Yeah, I would say probably stains then, so it'd be 8 if they had 2 stains of the redback. And marking you. What else is there? There's also scar tissue, I guess. No, that's target dagger too. Yeah, so stains of the redback would probably be the 1, right? So possibly 8. Like so 1.
All right.
Okay, so hit you with the trapdoor. They flick the hunter's clave. That's going to make trapdoor to go to 2. You're taking 1 damage from the hunter's clave, and then they're going to play 2 stains of the redback, so possible 9 damage.
All right. So that's incorrect. You forgot about take up the mantle.
Fuck take up the mantle. What assassin player plays take up the mantle now with Omnis Ward in play? Right?
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
didn't know
playing.
that like an hour ago. Okay, so you remember that part.
I'm not worried about take up the mantle. If they have it. But okay, but it was to the point then.
Yeah, so like the most this can go up to is they flick it the clave to take up the mantle.
Oh, you can't do it to the point though.
And then you can to the point it because it became a kiss of death.
Gotcha.
And
Okay,
so
okay.
this kiss of death, let's see, is coming in for 11, and it has on hit you lose 1 life, and they flicked the hunter's clave, so they can bring this up to 13.
Wow.
So they've dealt 13 damage with a free card hand, and they attacked you for 1 with one of those cards.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I feel like this was college for me because I said to the point, and you're like, well, it's not a dagger attack, right? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you're right. But I inadvertently got half the answer right. I feel like that's how I passed my algebra classes in college.
Yeah, I asked you how are they going to play a dagger pump on a non-dagger?
I guess
You missed the middle part.
So funny. Show your work. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting though. Like, okay, I like that. So sometimes you will have to take up the point, but would you play around take up the point with on a sword? Like, is that a play that they're going back to?
Yeah, this is something that's going to happen now that Mantle has fallen out of favor. But
Okay, it can happen though. So you're still saying if it's yeah, fair.
I totally didn't lose a game at Worlds to this exact play, basically, and wanted to bring it up because of that. And of course, I said that not to worry about it, but this is just like an example of how dumb Codex of Frailty can be. They could have easily just like flicked to give, and then like Stains give go again and let Codex lead the witnesses.
Yeah, what would that have been if they did that play?
So this would be 5, 6, 10 damage. So it's 3 less damage, but it's also a lot more disruptive.
Yeah. So if they get your arsenal, it still equals to the same value of 13 damage.
Yeah, they can.
Or 13 value points. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's like another simple scenario. So you see here you are at 22. You're very healthy. They pitched a blue card to swing Hunter's Clave, and you took it. They then swung a Graphene Chelicera for 2 go again. What do you want to do here? They have 1 card in hand.
I mean, you don't care. You just take it.
Correct. It sucks if it's scar tissue. Oh yeah, hold on. What's the worst thing that this card could be here?
The worst thing it could be is take up the mantle. I'm just joking, y'all. The answer's already given, scar tissue, which keeps you marked, which is exactly what they want to do.
Codex, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
That was good, Andrew. Damn, that's helpful as hell, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's... Ooh, we should have a phased-in thing. Like, woo. Anyways, that's helpful, dude. Let us know down in the comments below if you followed along and if that was helpful for you guys too. I have a feeling though that actually seeing play lines like that kind of helps people think about that too. I mean, now looking at it does make me understand stealth attack versus dagger attack, how much more limited they are in. So if I count their graveyard, right, and I see that, oh, they have, stains of the redback in there and no take up the mantles. They might have 1 take up the mantle, but if they have all the stains of the redback in their graveyard and they're attacking with a stealth attack, then it's probably okay to block it at face value, more or less not, right? Dagger attacks being something different because there's a lot more pumps with the daggers.
Yeah, I mean, if you block it at face value, they could just play Tarantula Toxin and get your blocking card -3. So Tarantula Toxin doesn't have to be used for war crimes. It could be used for honest work sometimes.
Yeah, I guess its on rate is pretty fair with the just a -3 stealth. Yeah.
Yeah, Yellow Shred is a card that has won a Pro Tour.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked shreds, but I think I played too much when I was playing the SS back in the day. But then again, it's like dead cards if they don't block, kind of like the Warrior situation. Dude, This was incredibly helpful, man. Like, hopefully, I know with people, still Mario's gonna be around for the meta for the foreseeable future, at least until the winter, right? When do you think he's going to LL? About 100 and something points away, right?
Yeah, after Jacob Clements wins Worlds, duh. I figured this out. Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob Clements is actually has just been throwing games to keep Mario around. What was it, like Edinburgh? I know it looked like he got demolished and really lost that game, but actually he was just trying to keep Mario around so you can win Worlds with it.
That's fair. I mean, do you think that really happened?
No, I'm pretty sure he'll happily take the several $1,000.
Well, shit, dude. There's a lot of big brain player shit. I think like 4D chess style shit, right? Like if they want to keep their hero around, I don't not disagree with that. Method.
Yeah,
Like you being second, and taking several $1,000s, keeping your hero around for a bigger price burst. Why not? I mean, if you feel like you're that confident to win worlds, I can see that being a big brain play. I'm not saying it's real, but I'm saying it can't happen. So, any final comments to wrap up? I think this is incredibly helpful, man.
but yeah, I hope it's helpful and that you're not just gonna forget this in a week.
No, I got play
Happen,
more,
right?
and no, it won't happen. I listen to our own podcast. I'm like half the views. No, I do listen to it though because it is
Oh,
incredibly
me
helpful for
too.
me. And I know I kind of get the gist now. I gotta go back and I won't remember the names of the cards, but I will remember what the card does, and I'll have to go
No, you
look
remember
at
the
how much
pictures?
attack reactions there are for stealth attacks versus dagger attacks. So that helps too. Just kind of knowing that and knowing the interaction, knowing them was kind of semi right in the way I was playing against Mario, especially with the semi aggro. And I'm pretty sure I have an advantage with Olympia, just like I had an advantage with Rhino. It really is who draws the better cards first or pops off. Like if Mario pops off and they have the power cards, like the whole Saber Bloodshed, Saber Bloodshed and Kiss of Death, you just got to bend over and take it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm telling you to accept it.
Yeah. I guess that's a better way of saying it, Andrew.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yeah. Next week, I know you're out. You are traveling the world to go win at Kansas City.
Yeah, hopefully. It'll be
Uh,
really fun if it happens.
yeah. I mean, you know, we gotta get you some merch, man. Like we gotta get you some tunics to wear or some. I don't know what. Like I know we speak down on jerseys, but there's gotta be something that we could do to represent Tunic Counter Gamers when you win shit.
Oh
Like
man, sounds like something for you to do and for me to not
what
think about.
if I come up with something, would you do it?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah. Have you ever had a time at work where you ask your boss why don't we do this? And then he's like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Go implement that."
Dude, I've learned a lot about not being very careful on how I offer my services now, especially with shit like that. Because you're right, like, oh, go do the change you foresee in the future. The issue is I'm at that level in my job where if I want to see the change, I do the change, right? Like, I facilitate change, right?
Yeah, you're cool
So,
enough that you're the change man.
shit, dude. So tiring though. Anyways, all right. So I'll think of something for you to start repping up when you win these tournaments because you're always day twoing, anyways. Next week, I know you're out, but we got a special guest coming. I already cleared it. It's going to be Jorge. We're going to talk about Leviah and all things brute. That's our new bay, I guess you could say.
I'm
It'll
excited.
be. I mean, I think Jorge's pinning down the nut right now to play with the
Yeah.
Leviah. Maybe I'll do a reprint of his Leviah, his face on Leviah, right? Just like I did with the Tough Nut one. If you want to find us, you could always hit up our Discord channel. There's also, you can contact me, midnight_WI11. And are you out at Cards HQ Thursday?
Yeah, I will be there.
Okay. I'm looking forward to being there too. Hopefully that doesn't change. But Lord knows sometimes. Lord knows sometimes. Any final comments on Assassin?
No.
What should we call this title? What should we call this episode? I was thinking about that.
Are you gonna ask about that before we
Silent but
finish?
deadly. Silent but deadly. How to block the silent but deadly assassin attack. Anyways, we'll think about that. Guys, let us know if this episode was helpful down below. This is a new thing we're doing. If you want Andrew's Mind Grapes Gozen and made into this beautiful wine about any other heroes or classes that you're struggling with, go ahead and hit it down in the comments below. I'm not plugging the comments. I just, I figure we don't use that shit a lot. We still got a lot of
Actually, if you in the
subscribers.
comments want to tell me some cool stuff, let me know if you think shower beers are degenerate. Because some
Shower
people
beers.
recently told me otherwise, and I very much disapprove of that.
Shower beers.
Yeah,
Like,
do you think
so
beers are degenerate?
So that's just drinking a beer when you're showering, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fucking Monday morning. That's not degenerate, dude. That's called self-medication. How's that degenerate? That's exactly what I'm not condoning drinking. I am not condoning drinking. But sometimes, if you've never had a shower beer, I highly recommend it, dude. Like, it is great. What's degenerate about that? Like, look, I'm saying
Exactly.
people have spa days, manicures, pedicures. I have my shower beers. It's a hell of a lot cheaper, a hell of a lot tastier, and it relaxes the hell out of me. So why not, right? Andrew, are you about the shower beers? You look like a shower
Yeah,
beer kind of
yeah.
man.
I said they're completely non-degenerate and
Yeah,
a part of a balanced
dude.
breakfast, especially
I used to have
when
whiskey
you know.
baths, right? Like I would
Oh,
drink whiskey in the bathtub, like watching anime and shit, dude. It is the best time ever. I got
oh, you
bubble
had like a
bath,
whiskey
dude.
watching Golden Boy.
Not in the bathtub. I do have bubble bath though, man. Have you ever had like that, like kid stuff bubble bath? The bubbles it all out. That's the stuff, man. With a little whiskey, a little bubble bath, some anime, dude. That is the night. Hey, anyways, you always get to learn a little bit more about me, but I love shower beers. Anyways, we can talk all the time about drinking. We don't condone it. Drink responsibly, kids.
That sounds like condoning drinking to me.
So I do have a question for you, Andrew. What kind of beer do you have a shower beer with? Like, do you have a go-to, or is it whatever artisan beer you're picking up for
Uh,
that time?
the best ones usually. I mean, like the best one's whatever you have on hand. But if you have to choose, I like doing like wheat beers.
Yeah, like a Blue Moon
Those
type
are
of thing. You do a little orange peel inside until you get the citrus to light.
good, bro. Like I like Allagash White.
Okay,
I like a Hefeweizen.
dude.
You get German beers.
Now, mind you, again, I don't condone drinking, but did I ever tell you my policy about when I go to the bar or when I'm drinking with some friends? I would always have
No,
two beers. I had to order two beers at a time. Did I ever tell you about this? Right.
no.
So, because I always order two beers at a time. My friends would always be like looking at me weird, but it'd always be the cheapest beer they had on hand, PBR or Miller Lite, whatever it might be. And then the other beer would be like a heavier gravity beer or artisan beer, something full bodied flavor. The first beer I would chug, right? Just down it, just swallow it, just get that feeling like go, 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 right? And then the second beer is to enjoy. So the first beer is business, the second beer is enjoyment. And that's why I always order two beers.
You can just get like a shot of vodka. Like
And
you don't have to worry about like the
it's
process of chugging a beer.
it's the swallowing of the beer and that beer
Bro, you like the
flavor, dude.
mouthfeel?
Dude, I love that sudsy, carbonated beer. I'm telling you, man. Well, I love beer. Anyways, no, guys. I guess I should sign off before we get more into trouble. Until next time, remember, every turn is a decision. Every decision is a story. And don't forget your damn Tunic Counter. And Andrew, for your sake, for our audience, if you like shower beers, comment down below what beer you'd like a shower beer with.
And if you don't, comment anyway.
Yeah, there you go.